Want a little push-up tip? Well, then stick around. Hey, my name is Gretchen. I am founder of Balance to the Core, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here and would love to stick around, hit that subscribe button as well as the bell next to it to get notified whenever I have a new video. So today I have a little push-up tip for you. It's also a tip for sort of your everyday living. Anything that we do in Pilates can be taken off the mat and into your everyday life. So just think of these tips as lifestyle tips, okay? And if you like these tips and you like working in this kind of detail, head on over to balancetothecore.com and join my 5-day free Pilates challenge. If it's not going on live right now, that means there's a wait list, and just put your name there to get notified when the next one is, because there'll be plenty. So be sure to join. Let's just take note of what's going on in our shoulders. So just kind of shrug your shoulders up to your ears and down. And just notice all the mobility we have there, right? And then how about we roll the shoulders forward and back, right? So then there's like a lot of mobility there too. We can also circle them around, and we can go forward and back with that. So just notice, you can keep kind of fiddling with all of that. There is a lot of mobility, and that attachment point, if you notice the way that you're rolling your shoulders, your arm just comes along for the ride, right? So your arm is attached to your body through all these muscles, tendons, ligaments, and fascia, and everything it's attaching to your body with those points. It's not bone on bone. So there's a lot of mobility here, which means there's a lot of vulnerability, which means there's a lot of stability that needs to happen. So in order to have real strength in that arm, you need to stabilize that shoulder on your back so that it doesn't have all that mobility. Okay, there's times when we need it, right? But when there's too much of it, that's when we can get injured. And I see that a lot when people do the push-ups, a lot of too much mobility going on in those shoulders doing the push-ups, where it's really coming from there. And that's where you can have, shoulder tension, elbow pain, wrist pain. So we want to really try to feel those arms on your back as you're pushing up. So this is a little experiment that you can do just to see what's happening in your body. Find a wall. Okay, I'm going to use this wall because I think it's the best. I think if I do it this way, you can't see me. So I'm going to try to do this wall so you can see me. All right, so shrug that shoulder up and down. All right, and then what I want you to do is, if you can't touch it, that's okay. Try to wrap your arm around and feel the muscles that are right underneath your armpit. It's your back, but it's sort of right underneath your armpit. So when you shrug up and down, do you feel that muscle? Especially when you push it down, do you feel it really engage? Okay. So that's the muscle we want to really make sure is working in our push-ups. So kind of roll your shoulders forward and back. All right. And then find that middle point, and then shrug them up and down. And then find kind of that middle point and shrug them up and down again and make sure that muscle's working. All right. You got that muscle. Now straighten your arm out and place your hand on your wall. Okay. Don't worry about your legs. Just put them wherever you can kind of hang out here without too much weight on your arm. All right. So now your shoulder is down. It's on your back. All right. I want you to push into all 5 fingers. Notice what happens when you don't push into your fingers. So just let go. And do you notice? Well, I should ask you, what do you notice? And then when you push into your fingertips, do you feel a difference? Let it go. Push into your fingertips. So when you actually use your hand strength as well and sort of grip that wall, almost like you're kind of pulling the wall into your palm, right? And make sure the balls of your fingers have some pressure too. All right, so you can see the hand power helps alleviate you pressing into your joints as well. So you have the shoulder on your back and you have pressure into those fingertips, pushing in and kind of pulling in. I'm going to just push my legs out a little bit so I'm more on a diagonal. Now notice, just holding here, where are you feeling the bulk of your work? Then I want you to start to bend your elbow down towards the floor and then push away from that wall. Bend down. And as you bend down, can you feel that muscle we felt earlier? Kind of engage it. And then as you push the wall away, see if you can really control the movement from your back. And of course, your belly's always engaged. We're in Pilates here. But just feel that work. Okay, I'm going to do it on my other hand just to even out. So again, shrug your shoulder up and down, forward and back. Keep it in that midpoint where it's like really centered. Lift it up to your shoulder, push it down, ignite that muscle, right? Make sure it's on. Straighten your arm and then go against the wall. And make sure your fingers are wide. All right, we want wide fingers so we have a nice wide base. And then push into all your fingertips. Okay, let go and notice what does it feel like without the fingertips working. For me, all the pressure goes into the palm of my hand, and then it's really a lot in my wrist. Can you imagine on the floor where you have more pressure on you, how it would just sink right into your wrist? So pushing into your fingertips, can you also, like if I push, don't use my fingertips, I get closer to the wall. When I push my fingertips, it's like I push a little bit away from the wall. There's more muscle power going on. All right, so you got your back, your fingers working. You're not locking your elbow. You can't really lock your elbow if you're really ignited in your back muscles anyway. All right, so go more on a little diagonal so you have some pressure. And then I want you to bend your elbow down to the floor and back up. Down to the arm. Make sure you're pushing into those fingertips. You feel the arm on your back. You can even place your hand right by those muscles. Make sure they're working. Abs are working, right? So just kind of feel that control in the muscles and not your wrist and elbow. Okay, so now let's try both hands, okay? I'm don't have much wall space, but I'm gonna try here. Go at a little bit of a diagonal. Don't worry about the legs today. When we do push-ups, I do cue the legs and stuff, but right now we're just focusing on that upper body. Okay, so widen your fingertips. Hold on, before you do that, shrug up and down. I just really wanna make sure you know what it feels like to have your shoulders on your back. All right, keep them on your back. Widen your fingertips, push into those fingertips, almost feel like you're pulling the wall, kind of like you're pulling inward, so those fingers are using their muscles. All right, your elbows are tipped down towards the floor. Okay, so now when you bend both elbows, they sort of go down towards the floor, and then you push away from that wall, down and up, down and up. Do you feel a difference in the way you do your push-up? If you want, take it down to the floor. I'm just gonna go to my knees right now because I didn't set up my mat or anything like that. I do have shoes still on. All right, so widen your fingertips, right? Get into that little diagonal. Your arms are on your back. When you bend your elbows, they go towards the back of the room. Push into the fingertips, find your back, and then push up. Okay? So try that, but I want you to try it up against the wall first because I don't want you to have a lot of pressure. Just the slight little diagonal is enough to feel those muscles, even like right here, just doing it. And really getting that muscle memory of what it feels like when you bend your elbow, you're using your back, your belly, and those fingertips have some, you're using the muscles in your hands. Those are important too. So let me know in the comments if that was a little enlightening for you. When you do the full push-up and you kind of pull your fingertips in towards one another, then you have your power of the pelvis going on, you're standing in your feet. It really becomes a full body exercise versus just really feeling like your upper body is doing all the work. But if you can get those muscle attachments just doing these simple movements, it makes the bigger movements so much more efficient. So I hope this was helpful. Again, if you want to join that 5-day challenge, just go to balancetothecore.com. You'll see a link right there to join that challenge. Would love to have you. And thanks so much for being here. Take care.